you go from a blue collar family to Harvard, Goldman, and then your own business. You're in the salons of the wealthy, and you're talking to wealthy people. And whether you like it or not, you're picking up the cognitive biases of the people that you're surrounding yourself with. And this is another confession, but I think it's an important one. I started to lose touch with the neighborhood that I grew up in. And so when I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I saw the crowds, I couldn't believe the crowds that Trump was generating. And so I crossed the security perimeter, I went into the crowd, and I started talking to people about their lives and why they were here, what brought you to the Trump rally. And I had an epiphany. It dawned on me that he was talking to the people I grew up with. And those people in 35 years, Brian, they went from aspirational working class families, which was the family I was in,
right,
to desperational working class families, economically desperational. And I felt their angst. One guy said to me, I'll never forget this, he's like, hey, you think you're in New Mexico? New Mexico, that would be Mexico. Okay, because the factory that my dad and I were working in has moved to Mexico.
Right.
And I looked at him, I said, so what are you doing now? I said, I'm working at Lowe's, the home improvement center, the retail store. I'm delivering pizza for Domino's. So I've got 2 jobs, but my real income is down about 40%. And so that left a big mark on me. And I will tell you this, because I think it's apropos to Great Britain. A month after that trip, I was at the Harvard Law School Leadership Council. The dean of the Harvard Law School was hosting an event in New York. She comes in, it's the day after the Brexit. And she says, geez, I met with the prime minister. I met with George Osborne. I met with a whole selection of Harvard alums at law firms in the city of London. And they told me that there wasn't going to be a Brexit, that Remain was going to be the prevailing vote. What do you think happened? So I'm like sheepishly raising my hand. And I said, Dean, let's have to ask my peers here, has anybody here been to a Donald Trump or a Bernie Sanders rally? And of course, nobody had. And I looked at them, I said, well, listen, I'm not saying this in any pedantic way. I'm just being observant. I've been to 4 Trump rallies and 1 Bernie Sanders rally. And I can tell you why they Brexited, because those are the people in the Midlands, those are the people in Manchester, those are the people in the UK Rust Belt that have felt the pressure of immigration, and they have felt their wages go down, and they feel the income gap, and they are revolting.
They don't trust anybody in London.
They don't. Yeah. But also, you know this, and I'm sophisticated enough to know this, there's a lot of robotic technology. There's a lot of Russian influence in propaganda business on social media to split and divide people. They're doing it to BAFTA right now, right? Let's fire it. The goal of those people is to fester and destroy the great institutions of the West. And so if they can do that, they can make everybody distrust everybody. So BAFTA, you don't have enough blacks or whatever you call them here, British or Africans, we call them African Americans, it doesn't matter. You don't have enough of them. So therefore, let's split you guys and let's cause some dissension. In the United States, let's create a dissension between the haves and the have-nots, or the white underclass versus the black underclass, or whatever it might be. And we, unfortunately, we have leadership now that will play into that. We have very tribal-based leadership. The interesting thing about the United Kingdom and the United States, the first name of both countries is United. Yet we've accepted tribalism in these countries from a political perspective that's sowing the seeds of great division. And so we need transformative political leadership now to go out there and explain to the people that feel so angry what we can do in terms of policy solutions and what we can do to fix the problem. Okay. And Trump is not someone that's going to be able to fix that problem. He's fueling that problem.